Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Once again, it is Sovereign Saturday. As a man, discipline is paramount. I mean, as a man, period, but especially as a sovereign man, you gotta have some discipline because that's what really separates men from women, men from boys, is discipline. In civilized cultures where they had rites of passages, the main thing of it was to teach a young man discipline, a young boy discipline, so that he may become a man. See, I'm gonna tell you what, it's our willpower, it's our discipline that not only separates us from everyone else, from boys, from women, from boys, from children, I'll say, but is being able to maintain that discipline as we move through life. See, I've talked before about a man having a code. He has to have discipline to maintain that code. Whatever his code is, he has to have discipline. Even in situations where people don't see him, he has to be disciplined in situations where it's not public. You know, it can't be one of those things he's showing discipline publicly, but privately he's not. That's not a man. See, a man's going to show discipline even when no one is around him. And that's what separates a man from a boy. That's paramount as a man, especially as a sovereign man, because you got to have discipline in order to be sovereign. If you don't control yourself, if you don't have discipline yourself, how you going to be a sovereign man? How you going to do the things is necessary to control your life? Like, you got to be disciplined in working. Hey, that takes some discipline. You got some guys, they might have a job, but they show up whenever, don't do the work. You got to be disciplined to stay with that. You have to be disciplined to stay on a path. There's always some talk, especially in these spaces, about being on your purpose, being on your mission. Oh, that takes discipline because, trust me, your mission is never easy. You know, you got to stay disciplined. When I'm making these videos, y'all don't know how many videos I've done, and I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well. The only time I didn't make videos was during that time I had the stroke. And even then, I was still, I was still like, say, okay, I got to get disciplined to get back to this point. And really, the only reason I didn't really was the Wi-Fi where the places I was staying wasn't that good. I actually tried to upload a video. So, but you still got to stay it, as best as possible. Because when I first started doing videos again, trust me, I was not feeling well. Y'all saw me. Y'all saw how I was. Y'all saw how much weight I had lost. Shoot, that was tough. But I said, no, I got to still do this. I have to still do this. And not even just for money, but just because people are looking for it. That was because this is my job. This is my job. So you got to stay with it. Okay, like I'm known for talking about body game. One of the things that body games teach you is not that you putting on muscles or anything like that or losing weight, getting lean. You got to have discipline to do that. That's one of the things about body game. It's teaching you discipline. It's more than just your aesthetics. But you got to have the discipline to head to the gym more, especially on days you don't feel like it. It can't be like, oh, I feel good today, let me go. Oh, I don't feel good today, let me not go. You gotta keep your discipline. You gotta keep your discipline. Or when you doing different reps, you want to do 4 reps of bench pressing. Shoot, it's discipline to get through that last rep. Anybody who's actually did that, or you doing curls, whatever you're doing, squats, whatever you're doing, you got to have discipline. When you have a business, you starting a business, you got to stay disciplined in that business. It's not going to be one of those things where you can just show up. I wish it was. I wish it was. Nah, especially when you're not making money, you got to be disciplined to stick with it. You got to be disciplined to stick with something. I don't care what it is, diet, whatever. Money spending, money. I talk about money on my money channel. But let's be real, I've talked about it here too, because if you're talking about being a sovereign man, you got to have some money. You got to manage your money. if you're talking about controlling your life. But if you spend your money willy-nilly and everything, you're not disciplined. You know, you might not be able to get that extra cupcake or that ice cream. You got to stay disciplined. I remember there was a minister who was talking years ago. I'll call his name, Fred Price. He was talking about how he loved a certain type of ice cream, but he could only eat like a couple spoonfuls because he had to maintain his fitness discipline. It's very important. It is very, very important. Shoot, you got to maintain. I don't care what it is, you got to have discipline. That's what separates a man from a woman, because women, shoot, they just go out here and do whatever. But see, that's what they supposed to do. Or children, hey, they just jump around and do whatever. But that's what they're supposed to do. But when you're a man, when you become a man, and like I said, in civilized cultures, they would have a rites of passage. It's too bad we don't. So look, y'all hearing it from me. You got to create discipline for yourself. You got to ask yourself, am I running every day? Am I working on my business every day? Am I studying to get a vocation so I can even make money? And even in how you deal with women, you got to have a certain discipline in dealing with women. You got to have standards. I keep hearing women saying, yeah, they want a man with standards. They want a man who can say no. Shoot, you got to stay disciplined. Yeah, especially with women. Shoot, she got that nice breastises and big old butt dunk round. She looking, smiling at you and everything. But, hey, she might be your boy's girl. You got to have the discipline over your own dick. In fact, pimps will talk about that. You got to have discipline over your sex. It's like, nah, I ain't going to touch her because of this reason. I ain't going to touch her because of this reason. You got to have discipline even in your sexual manners. Manners, whatever. You got to have discipline with your dick, all right? How about that? But as a man, that's paramount. That's what makes you a man. That's what it means to be a man. You have discipline. And look, it's very important that you maintain it. It's very important that somebody else doesn't come up and force you to maintain it. If you got to be forced, you already got problems. Let me say that again. If you have to be forced, some outside force has to make you do it, you already have problems. No, your discipline has to be self. You have to have that code. You have to have that discipline. You have to be the one to say, no, I ain't going to do this. Or I am going to do this. You got to be the one. No one else. No one else. You got to be the one. All right? And this is paramount. If you want to be a man, if you're going to be a sovereign man, you got to have that discipline. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about if you lacking discipline in any area of your life, and I'm saying any area of your life, then you know what you have to work on. But if you're trying to become a sovereign man, you got to be disciplined in doing this, taking the steps necessary to become a sovereign man, to have control over your life. And what you don't have control over, at least leverage. That takes work. That takes discipline, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Keep rising to become the sovereign man that you're meant to be. Peace and blessings, everyone.